Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we are heading off to France for round 10 of the 2001 Formula One season. Let's get started.
Located just a few kilometers south of Nevers, the Magny-Cours circuit combines several short straights with an interesting selection of slow to medium speed turns, hairpins and chicanes. Like the Spanish circuit de Catalunya, Magny-Cours is a modern facility built specifically for motor racing.
Starting off as always with qualifying and our first flying lap, where we were not doing all that well. We finished the lap in 120.715, so we needed an improvement. On the second flying lap, we managed to find a bit more speed around the track. We crossed the line with a time of 119.874. Slight improvement, but it could be better. Then, on our third flying lap, we come across Tarso Marquez through the Adelaide hairpin, and we crash into him. He was on his out left, so we should have moved over and let me pass. Not only did we lose our front wing, but the suspension was damaged as well. So that was the end of the qualifying session for us. How frustrating.
Hello there. Welcome to France for round 10 of the 2001 FIA Formula One World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Mika Hakkinen first. Montoya consistently outpaced his championship rival, the BAR driver. Michael Schumacher third. David Coulthard fourth. Ralf Schumacher fifth. Raikkonen sixth. Rubens Barrichello seventh. Nick Heidfeld eighth. Frentzen ninth. Button 10th. Eddie Irvine 11th. Jos Verstappen 12th. Fisichella 13th. Jarno Trulli 14th. Alonso 15th. Olivier Panis just got the edge over his teammate. He starts from 16th. Alesi 17th. Luciano Berti 18th. De La Rosa 19th. The BAR driver 20th. Bernaldi 21st. Tarso Marquez 22nd.
We are on the grid now for the start of the French Grand Prix. We start from the back, which is unfortunate, but we'll have to deal with it. It could have been much worse. And we're off. Sort of a mediocre start, but we managed to keep Tarso Marquez behind. Then, as we are coming through this first turn, we go past De La Rosa and the Prost of Berti. Next we have Jean Alesi. We shall try and pass him as well through the hairpin. That is, if we can keep up to him. But let's see that start once more. Here it is. Loads of wheel spin from my part, but everyone breaks away cleanly. That's good. And we even managed to gain a couple of positions, which is also good. Now we have to think about gaining even more. But we are now riding with our former teammate Eddie Irvine. He is chasing after Giancarlo Fisichella, I believe. He passes him, then he taps the side of Jos Verstappen's arrows, losing Irvine his front wing. Meanwhile, we got around the Lacey and we are now chasing after Fernando Alonso in the Minardi. I got distracted by something and I ended up crashing into Alonso's car. That is a very bad start to the French Grand Prix. Now we need to nurse the car back to the pits and get a new front wing. Here is a replay. We come through the so-called Nürburgring chicane. I got distracted by something next to me, and for just a fraction of a second I looked away from the screen, but that was enough for me to crash into Alonso. That really is a bad start to the race. We are now coming in to replace our front wing. Irvine is in to do the same. Hakkinen came in to retire due to some gearbox issues, and Alonso also came in to retire due to the missing rear wing, thanks to me. And after being stationary for 9.2 seconds, we are ready to rejoin the race. A little fun fact, I thought that the pit lane was only changed for the 2002 season, but it seems that I remembered wrong. and I messed up my gears. I was in second instead of first gear. Anyway, let's see if we can salvage this race. We've just started lap 3, I turn in too late for this first corner and I go off the track. This obviously loses us a lot of time, and time is a thing which we don't have too much of to begin with, so it's time to get serious. We are still on lap 3 and I make another mistake. I went into the chicane carrying too much speed, forcing me to cut across. This race isn't going well at all for us. On lap 4, we were making slow progress towards closing the gap on Irvine, when I was announced that Barrichello had an accident. It felt good to know that I wasn't the only one struggling. Here is Barrichello, who is being chased by one of the Williams. They enter the Adelaide hairpin. The Williams clips the rear of Barrichello's Ferrari, spinning him around. Then, as Barrichello tries to turn his car around, he hits the tire wall and breaks his front wing. All the while, I continue to make all sorts of mistakes. If this goes on, we'll be lucky to even finish the race. There's only so many times you can get away with going off the track. We need to stay focused. As I start my 6th lap, I got informed about some engine problems Bernoldi was having. That was great news since I didn't really have to do much to pass him. Yeah, I know, I'm cheap, but today is the day for cheap moves, I guess. And here is the arrows of Enrique Bernoldi. He comes around through this fast right-hander at the start of the lap, and as he reaches the top of this little hill, his engine bursts into flames, so that is it for him. So I got around him. That moves us up into 18th, but there was still a long way to go, and we were slowly catching Irvine. We are now coming around to start lap 7, and I turn in way too early for this first corner. I hit the curb, that throws me into the air, I lose control of the car and fly right into the safety barrier, breaking my rear wing. This is really bad, and we will soon be lapped by the leaders. There they go. So here's a replay. I come around turn 1, I hit the curb, which offsets the car, that sends me into a spin and into the barrier. And now I have to pit again. Here I am trying to nudge the car back to the pit, but since I still had my front wing, the front of the car was still generating a lot of downforce. The front wheels dig too much into the tarmac and sends me into another spin. And here we are in the pits waiting for the lollipop man to give us the signal to go. And we were just lapped by the entire field. Yes, we are now one lap behind absolutely everyone, so it is going to be quite a difficult race from now on. But we will soldier on and hope for the best. With a bit of luck, we might be able to turn it around. Later on, as we come through the Nürburgring chicane, I use a bit too much curb on the exit, sending the car into another spin, losing us even more time. Come on, Mephisto, focus. On lap 10, I did it again, this time through the Imola chicane. I entered the chicane a bit too fast, took a bit too much of the curb at the entrance, that threw us into the air slightly, just enough to ensure that we lose control of the car. This is a complete disaster. Just as we start lap 11, once again I mount the curb too aggressively, we go sideways, but luckily this time I manage to save it. Then as we start lap 12, I do it again, but this time there is no saving it. I hit the curb, spinning me around, I hit the barrier and the car goes upside down. Our race is now over. What an utter disappointment. Let's see that one more time. So, coming through turn 1, I hit the curb, that spins the car around, I slide on the gravel, slam into the barrier, turning me upside down, effectively ending our race. This is really going to hurt our championship chances, and I believe this is my worst race since I've started making these videos. I don't think I've driven this bad before. I know I'm not a good driver, but this is unacceptable. We need to clean our act, otherwise the championship will just slip away.
After that fantastic French Grand Prix, let's take a look at the final results. David Coulthard first. Michael Schumacher second. Heidfeld third. Ralf Schumacher fourth. Raikkonen fifth. Branson sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. David Coulthard moves further ahead in the Drivers' Championship.
Coulthard continues to lead the Drivers' Championship with 56 points. Michael Schumacher is second, just 10 points behind. Third is shared by Hakkinen and Montoya with 23 points. We are fourth with 22 points. Ralf Schumacher and Heidfeld share fifth with 17 points. Irvine holds sixth with 13 points. Barrichello is seventh with 11 points. In eighth we have Raikkonen with 10 points, and in ninth we have Button, Verstappen and Frentzen with 4 points.
McLaren move further ahead at the top of the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are second, whilst third place is held by Williams.
McLaren lead the Constructors' Championship with 79 points, second are Ferrari with 57 points, Williams are third with 40 points, Sauber are fourth with 27 points, our team is in fifth with 22 points, sixth is held by Jaguar with 13 points, and in seventh we have Benetton, Arrows and Jordan with 4 points. What a disappointment this race was. But to my defense, I was very tired when I was recording the video, so that had a major play on my overall performance in the race. Hopefully this won't happen again, especially since the next race is very important for us, or rather our team. Actually, it's important for most of the teams, so we should see a very competitive race. Of course, I'm talking about the British Grand Prix, where we will have to give it 110%. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.